Hi there, guys. It's me, Brian Cockrell. My guest today is Steve Norton. Steve, can you introduce yourself and what your credentials?
Yeah, of course, Brian. Well, I'm Steve Norton. I'm an anxiety specialist. So the last 25 years, I've been helping people with anxiety in different forms, even from panic attacks, fears, phobias, general anxiety, and different things like that. And I'm here to actually just pop around Brian's today to get a copy of his book.
Yeah.
And we've just got on like a house on fire.
Brilliant.
And we're here to actually just thought we'd, while we're here,
Yeah.
why not talk about anxiety? Why not talk about a little bit about things that people have, some things that people suffer with, and yeah, that's why we're here.
He's also written a book on it. It's called The Principles of Life. It's in shops, isn't it? You can get.
It is, yeah.
So it's really good to read. I've had a quick look at it, and it seems really good. He's into the same stuff as me, but he's a professional, so I'm just an amateur. But I've done this for a long time for my brother and my mum. It's the same type of thing as he knows. We've talked about, we both know what we're talking about, but he's a little bit more obviously experienced more than me. He's a professional. You've got your own office and that, haven't you?
Yeah, got my own practice. What I do day in, day out with people is help people with anxiety. But it's like one of the things that you said earlier on, which is very, very true, is that unless you've had anxiety, you don't really understand it.
That's right, yeah.
And so my own past, I had a lot of anxiety in the past. I got over it, and all I do now day in, day out is help people to get over it themselves.
What I used to ask people, I used to say, what were you like at school when you first started?
Just very, very nervous,
very
jumpy.
Were you popular?
No, I definitely wasn't popular.
Right.
I was probably that weird kid at school, that strange one.
Yeah.
Didn't have loads of friends.
Is it still anxiety even then, as a kid?
I don't know. I think when you are younger, you're almost like you're finding yourself. You're not comfortable in your own skin. And I work with a lot of teenagers now, and it's so common. It must be even worse now because we didn't have social media when we were kids.
Yeah.
So we had nothing to base ourselves on. Probably like yourself, I grew up with the likes of Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and they were the sort of people that we all aspired to be like. Yeah. But we didn't have Instagram, did we? Didn't have all that stuff.
And a lot of things and all today. So a lot of people then trained, and it helps get rid of anxiety and depression. It's one of the best things. So it produces natural gamma, endorphins, and beta and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. This guy being on today. It's just a treat to have him here. So, what else would you say is the most thing people have about fear?
The biggest problem that people have today is that they fear imaginary events. Everybody lives in a world now of what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? And they're always imagining the future of what they don't want to happen, which is really anxiety in a nutshell, is thinking about what you don't want to happen.
Yes.
And then your body then gives you the chemicals that goes along with those thoughts.
Which is the bad chemicals that start your panic attacks and spirals up, and you can't sleep, your anxiety comes through the roof and blood pressure goes up and everything. So them bad thoughts what you're having, like you're saying, Steve, is the bad thoughts if you have from the past. A lot of people play the victim and things. Can you agree with that?
Yeah. It's very hard to get over victim mentality.
It's a bit horrible saying it.
Yeah.
It is what you do. I used to do it when I was on the coke. I'd take the crack and go, she's done me head in, or he's done me head in. It's just an excuse to take the drug, which is an addiction, obviously. Yeah. But it's obviously things that have happened to me in the past. But when you get over the things that have happened to you in the past, because if you keep reliving them every day, you're going to be living in the past. You're never going to get out the past. So you've got to stop thinking about the memories of the past make you bad. Stop thinking about them and think of the good memories and live up to every day as if it's your last day, and stop being panic attacks about this and you start having panic attacks because you think you're going to have a panic attack.
Absolutely. You see, with panic attacks, people think they happen randomly, but in reality, you're planning them before they actually happen.
Yes.
In your mind, you're already rehearsing your next panic attack.
Yeah.
You think to yourself, well, I hope it doesn't happen in, say, Tesco's. Then you start running the movie through of it happening in Tesco's. Brilliant. Then you think to yourself, shit, I hope that doesn't happen. But what you're actually doing without realising it is you're actually rehearsing.
Set yourself up for it.
Lining it up. Yeah. And the next one's coming.
Yeah.
And when it happens, you say to yourself, well, I knew that would happen.
Because your body played it out in your head and your body set yourself up. It's like probably making your dinner in it. Well, I knew I was going to have beans on toast today because you've upped the tin of beans and made the toast. So,
absolutely.
What is the, do you think it's happened a lot with kids now, isn't it? With the social media, you've got to wear these clothes, you've got to have this phone, you've got to have that. A lot of kids, I think, are going a bit crackers through these gangster rap, where they're brainwashing them, shooting people, stabbing people, things. A lot of kids are carrying knives those days as well. I think it's like to show off and to be the big man, isn't it, type of thing.
Absolutely. really what you've got to watch out for is what you put inside of your head.
Yeah.
You know, let's face it, with social media, if you actually looked at your Facebook page now, I actually looked at that Facebook page and looked at every post that was on, 95% of that would either be negative or annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're spending, say, 4 to 5 hours a day on social media, you're literally pouring that stuff into your mind.
That's right.
And what happens is when that stuff goes into your mind, then triggers feelings, emotions, adrenaline, cortisol gets fired into your body. That then gets you tense. And there's no outlet because you're constantly doing it over and over again. So it's like your body is constantly on standby mode for problems, even though these problems don't even exist.
And I was listening to a man called Joe Dispenza, who's a psychologist and professor. He says people get addicted to being, like to be paranoid because the fear, the adrenaline and the stuff and all the stuff we've just said, all the chemicals that work in your body, they don't get that, so they need to be hooked. They're like hooked on the fear type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's almost like you get the drama that gives you something.
Yeah. Then have
so when you don't have it, you're almost like thinking, well, I need to think about something bad now to create this drama.
The chemicals, yeah.
Because like I said, most people these days, we don't have... Let's just take COVID out of the equation, right? People are getting more and more anxious all the time. Yet we've never lived in safer times.
No.
We don't live in World War I, World War II.
Yeah.
But everyone's now imagining what they don't want to happen, running it through, feeling the emotions as if it's happened.
Yeah.
Because the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and imagined.
I mean, at the moment with COVID, don't get me wrong, it's bad. But go back to, like you were saying, people in the Second World War, one piece of bacon between 4 to 5 people, hardly any food to eat, no bananas, and that wasn't just for that. That wasn't for them just when the war was on. It was 5 years after. It still was ration bugs.
Absolutely.
So people, that's what you call getting bombed every night. Bombs coming and dropping on you. So really, we aren't living in bad times. It's just it's a virus. That's all it is. Isn't it?
You think we were?
Yeah.
If you spend all the time on the news, you think we're living in bad times. The truth is that it's never been as good now. It's never been as safe now because statistics can't lie.
No.
You know.
Look at how long people are living till.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think.
Well, what are people these days stressed about? The Wi-Fi went off. The pizza came and didn't have the right topping on it.
Yeah.
Years ago, it was like there was Germans going to drop bombs in your house.
Yeah.
You know. It's like, but we've grown up. We've softened up, so that the small things now that wouldn't have bothered people years ago. Now they're like catastrophic with people.
Yeah, because they've got nothing else to do, really, have they, as well?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I don't watch the news because I think the news makes you depressed. You know, a kid was killed today, he was bombed, he was blew up. So a lot of people who are really highly intelligent don't watch the news because it's not beneficial either, because half it's made up anyway just to sell stories. But I think a lot of people watch that and look what's happened, that might happen to me, that, and then they start imagining what's... And so they make people, it's like scaremongering in a way.
I can honestly say I think my mental health hasn't suffered this coronavirus because I actually disconnected the news.
Yeah,
I stopped my TV license. I went online, got rid of it.
Yeah.
I don't watch any news now. I hear snippets from now and again.
Yeah.
But I actually think if I was sat there, like some of the old people, when they're sat in the house looking at the news all day long, it's nothing but just negative. It's any wonder that they're going out absolutely terrified because of the news.
It is, yeah. But the thing is with people, that people can say one thing, another one can make another little story, another little... By the time it goes from one person, the Chinese whisperer, it's like you just have to look at something, you've got COVID, you know what I mean? But it's just crazy, isn't it? It's gone mad. But I think, like you said, we're living in the best time. Oh, it was better in the old days. How can it be better in the old days when you the technology you've got now? You go and you get an MRI scan, and you've got things like that. I mean, it's just phenomenal, isn't it? The medicine and stuff, people are living longer, cancers, and that, people are treatable. So we lived in our best days of our lives. So apart from this, when this virus is over, that's all it is, a virus.
That's all it is.
It's just a virus, and once that's gone, it's gone. You know, we're back to normal. But it is hard times for some people, but people dramatise it, don't they? Especially people, I think it's bad for people who suffer from anxiety and depression because they're sat about, I think it's called ruminising, where they sit in the room all day think, this is going to happen, what if that happens, what if this happens? Like you said, the most frightening fear is fear itself, and thinking about the fear coming on.
Anxiety is a condition of your own imagination.
Yeah.
It's just letting your imagination run away with you. But if you do it too many times, if you start running the same thought patterns through over and over again, you then create a habit.
It's like a program
you've created a program that you then wake up in the morning and that wakes up with you.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful what you think about. You've got to always understand that your thoughts are controlling your emotions, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you can control your emotions, that's the key, isn't it, to everything. You know,
but your emotions are also controlled by your thinking.
Yeah.
So you can't think horrible thoughts and feel good emotions.
No, it's impossible.
If you wake up in the morning, start running thoughts about that going wrong, you're already starting to trigger your body into give you those
You're
emotions.
back in the same program, aren't you, every day? So if you're going to be thinking of the bad thoughts every day, you're just going to be in the same program. So what you've got to do is take that. It's like a chip acid. You take that chip out, throw it away, and put a new chip in, and start. It's like having a new game type of thing. So
It is.
you just think you're in a game. You know, so you get up. I've got to get up. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Get out of bed the same side. Get a wash. Blah, blah, blah. And you do the same thing over again. Check my emails. Yeah, feed the dog, go to work, and they do the same thing every day. So they're in a program then. So I think sometimes you've got to change it, and mix it up, because you get stuck in that program. Your brain gets stuck in the same groove type thing. You have to get yourself out of it.
Couldn't agree more, mate.
Yeah.
So when you look at anxiety, the reason why people have it is because there's a simple thought pattern that all people with anxiety run, and this is it. You think to yourself, by thinking what will go wrong,